So the Crunchyroll Anime Awards have come and gone, and I'm not surprised, just disappointed. We had great anime take home some much-deserved awards, while others were propped up through popularity over quality, and I'm going to go through them all. Now the way I'm going to do this is I'll first list the nominees, name the winner, and then give my thoughts for that category. And one last thing before we begin. I've seen nearly every anime nominated throughout the awards, and they all range from good to amazing. There were no bad anime nominated. There were some bad nominations, but I'll cover that later. So don't think I'm criticizing a winner because I disliked it. So let's get this started. Let's get the elephant in the room out of the way first. Anime of the year. The nominees were Dandadan, Delicious in Dungeon, Frieren Beyond Journey's End, Kaiju No. 8, Solo Leveling Season 1, and The Apothecary Diaries. And the winner was Solo Leveling Season 1. I knew it would win a popularity vote because it's a simple power fantasy with isekai tropes and good action, but it was easily at the bottom of the nominees list. The main positives of Solo Leveling Season 1 are the action and the animation, none of which it surpasses the rest in by a long shot. Frieren's main criticism by people who dislike the show is that it's boring, even though Solo Leveling was much more boring outside of a few specific fights than every other show here. And I can't emphasize this enough, Season 2 has nothing to do with this year. It's only eligible next year, so the only legitimately great season of the show means nothing for this award. And if it wasn't obvious enough, I absolutely think Frieren should have rightfully won by a landslide. If you haven't watched it yet because you heard it was boring, maybe get your opinions from someone else. Now that that's out of the way, let's move on to Anime Film of the Year. The nominees were Haikyuu, The Dumpster Battle, Look Back, Mononoke the Movie, The Phantom in the Rain, My Hero Academia, You're Next, Spy Family Code White, and The Colors Within. And the winner was Look Back. For full disclosure, I've only seen Look Back, My Hero Academia, You're Next, and Spy Family Code White. I'm waiting for Haikyuu and Mononoke to finish before watching them, and I wasn't able to watch The Colors Within yet. I think this was fully deserved though. The movie isn't long, but it's a fantastic mix of beautiful and painful realities I think every fan of anime should watch. And don't get me started on the direction or the animation. I can't see myself changing my decision even if I had watched the other three movies, but once I do, I'll definitely let you know if my opinion changed at all. Next up was the surprise award for Global Impact. It went to Attack on Titan, and I fully understand why. It's been one of, if not the biggest franchise over the last decade, and for good reason. It was just nice to see it got its own special award. For Best Continuing Anime Series, the nominees were Bleach 1000 Year Blood War Part 3, Demon Slayer Hashira Training Arc, My Hero Academia Season 7, One Piece, Oshi no Ko Season 2, and Spy Family Season 2. And the winner was Demon Slayer Hashira Training Arc. I thought this was a bit ridiculous. I've seen everything except Bleach, I'm waiting until it finishes, and aside from the final episode, most of it was dragged out and just gave some development to the Hashira. Spy Family Season 2 was much more fun, Oshi no Ko Season 2 was a better follow-up season with great progress, and even One Piece, which didn't air the entire year, had some outstanding fights and revelations in the new saga. Personally, I thought My Hero Academia Season 7 should have taken this award though, with non-stop heart-pounding action and most of the plot threads being resolved while looking incredible throughout. And considering how highly rated every new season of Bleach has been, I was just surprised by this result. Next up was Best New Anime Series, and the nominees were Dandadan, Delicious in Dungeon, Frieren Beyond Journey's End, Kaiju No. 8, Solo Leveling Season 1, and The Apothecary Diaries. And the winner was Solo Leveling Season 1. This is exactly the same as Anime of the Year with one personal caveat. I think a great new series should open the door to even better sequels, in which this case it does succeed. It was the only one to have a sequel come out by the time the awards aired though, so it doesn't really mean much. Best Original Anime is next, and the nominees were Buchigiri, Girls Band Cry, Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night, Metallic Rouge, Ninja Kamui, and Train to the End of the World. And the winner was Ninja Kamui. This probably had the weirdest nominations out of the whole show. Buchigiri, Metallic Rouge, and Ninja Kamui were all pretty much panned universally when they released. Now don't get me wrong, I thought they were fine, and Ninja Kamui especially got too much hate. But these being nominated and Ninja Kamui winning against the other three is crazy. My choice would have been Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night, but Girls Band Cry and Train to the End of the World were great too. I honestly expected Girls Band Cry to sweep it since so many were raving about it when it was airing, but who knows what happened. Next up is Best Animation, and the nominees were Dandadan, Delicious in Dungeon, Demon Slayer Hashira Training Arc, Frieren Beyond Journey's End, Kaiju No. 8, and Solo Leveling Season 1. And the winner was Demon Slayer Hashira Training Arc. Look, we all know this is only here because of the final episode. The rest of the animation was pretty typical for the series and definitely not better than any of the other nominees. And even then, the final episode's animation wasn't that different from the peaks of animation sequences in other shows like Frieren and Solo Leveling Season 1. This is one of the only categories I expected Solo Leveling Season 1 to sweep because it's one of the two highlights of the show. I can only assume people were voting for it solely for the final episode, or they know the reputation Demon Slayer has for animation and default voted for it. The nominees for Best Character Design were Dandadan, Delicious in Dungeon, Demon Slayer Hashira Training Arc, Frieren Beyond Journey's End, Kaiju No. 8, and The Apothecary Diaries. And the winner was Dandadan. Now I love Dandadan, it was one of my favorites for the year, but the art style and animation is what made it look fantastic, not the designs. Some are extremely creative, but others are generic because these are supposed to be normal people most of the time. Apothecary Diaries completely deserve this with how extravagant and detailed all of the designs were. Even Kaiju No. 8, which had bland soldier uniforms, completely made up for it with the awesome kaiju designs. This may have just been a case of misunderstanding the category itself. Best Director is up next, and just so I don't butcher names, I'll show the directors' names but read the show's names. The nominees were Dandadan, Demon Slayer Hashira Training Arc, Frieren Beyond Journey's End, One Piece Fan Letter, The Apothecary Diaries, and Delicious in Dungeon. And the winner was Frieren Beyond Journey's End. I fully expected Frieren to win and was happy it did. The director did a fantastic job. It was a beautiful story shown perfectly. At the same time though, I was quietly rooting for One Piece Fan Letter. It was the best single episode of anime I think I've ever seen, and masterfully went beyond a simple expansion of the story by canonizing the love and appreciation the fans themselves hold for the show. Every single aspect of that one episode was perfect, and I don't think anything will ever top it. The best background art nominees were Dandadan, Delicious in Dungeon, Demon Slayer Hashira Training Arc, Frieren Beyond Journey's End, Pluto, and The Apothecary Diaries. And the winner was Frieren Beyond Journey's End. This was one Frieren award I didn't really agree with. The backgrounds were detailed for sure, but were pretty generic for the fantasy genre. Delicious in Dungeon was basically the same, and I'm somewhat surprised Jobless Reincarnation wasn't also nominated here. If they wanted urban details, then Dandadan was also a fantastic choice, but it was lacking in places. In terms of quality across the board though, I think this also should have gone to Apothecary Diaries. The amount of detail given to the Inner Palace was mind-blowing, and any one shot would have an insane amount of work put into the background alone. Now the best romance anime nominees were A Sign of Affection, Blue Box, Makine Too Many Losing Heroines, Ranma 1/2, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, and The Dangers in My Heart Season 2. And the winner was Blue Box. This category had the next weirdest nominations in my opinion. A Sign of Affection was barely the start of a romance, Makine was an anti-romance, and Ranma 1/2 barely even had romantic subtext. I didn't see Scott Pilgrim, so I can't comment, but Blue Box was more of a drama than a romance. Even though I love Blue Box, The Dangers in My Heart should have just by definition won this, but the art and animation carried it unfortunately. And if I'm being honest, some of my favorite romances weren't even nominated. From Me to You, Season 3 was completely ignored, and it was incredible with heavy romance and drama throughout. Even Grandpa and Grandma Turn Young Again would have beaten out most of the nominations. There were so many options, and we were given such a bad selection, for the category, not the anime themselves, to choose from. The nominees for Best Comedy Anime were Delicious in Dungeon, Konosuba Season 3, Mashle Season 2, My Dear Friend Nokotan, Ranma 1/2, and Spy Family Season 2. And the winner was Mashle Season 2. This wasn't too surprising considering how popular and hilarious it was. I had it in a toss-up with Konosuba Season 3, so I was happy with this result. I would argue My Dear Friend Nokotan had the most impact between the nominees though, and if it didn't get so repetitive in the second half, could have easily walked with this award. Next we have the nominees for Best Action Anime, which were Bleach 1000 Year Blood War Part 3, Dandadan, Demon Slayer Hashira Training Arc, Kaiju No. 8, Solo Leveling Season 1, and Windbreaker. And the winner was Solo Leveling Season 1. Personally, I would have chosen Kaiju No. 8 because while they both have awesome peaks, Kaiju just had better valleys during the action. Solo Leveling Season 1 was boring at times, even when there was fighting, but I can understand why so many people chose it. And while I haven't seen it myself so I can't judge how good it was, I know Bleach fans are fuming at this one. The entirety of 1000 Year Blood War has been highly praised and, as implied by the name, is full of action. I think it just suffered from a lack of popularity, which sucks for the fans. Best Isekai Anime is next with the nominees: Konosuba Season 3, Jobless Reincarnation Season 2 Part 2, ReZero Season 3, Shangri-La Frontier Season 2, Isekai Suicide Squad, and That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime Season 3. And the winner was ReZero Season 3. Now, I would have given this award to Jobless Reincarnation, especially since it was one of the best seasons in the series that I consider the best Isekai has to offer. ReZero Season 3 felt a little campy and relied way too heavily on Reinhard. It lacked some of the despair previous entries had. And most of the other nominees were sequels that I really enjoyed, but not as much as their predecessors. Shangri-La did have an improved second season, but it still wasn't as good as Jobless or ReZero, and I don't know why it's even included. It is 100% not an isekai. It's a video game and it is absolutely not another world. It was only allowed to be nominated because the description they gave for Isekai was a very vague description of fantasy, not Isekai at all. The nominees for Best Drama Anime were A Sign of Affection, Dead Dead Demons Dead Destruction, Freerun Beyond Journey's End, Oshinoko Season 2, Pluto, and The Apothecary Diaries. And the winner was Freerun Beyond Journey's End. I can't complain too much about this award because while the drama is more relaxed than the other nominees, it did a fantastic job with it. I did think Oshinoko was better in drama specifically though, especially in setting up what will be an insane Season 3. Similar to romance though, I would have rather seen From Me to You Season 3 and Grandpa and Grandma Turn Young Again nominated instead. And while I would have also nominated Mom, I'm Sorry, it was probably excluded because it's a donghua, not an anime. Tsumasho was completely robbed though, and I assume was excluded because of the English name, which is completely ridiculous. Not only did these all have fantastic drama, but they showed the dirty work of healing from the drama in satisfying ways. And I can't imagine there were too many dry eyes during any of them. Next are the nominees for Best Slice of Life: Laid Back Camp Season 3, Makane Too Many Losing Heroines, Mr. Villain's Day Off, My Dear Friend Nokotan, Sound Euphonium Season 3, and The Dangers in My Heart Season 2. And the winner was Makane Too Many Losing Heroines. Considering how well it was received, I wasn't too surprised, but I also don't think it's even a slice of life. Same goes for My Dear Friend Nokotan and Sound Euphonium Season 3. I think this was another casualty of weird category definitions. I chose The Dangers in My Heart Season 2 myself because it was fantastic and is closer to what a slice of life is, but if I was being strict about it, I would have gone with Laid Back Camp Season 3. The art style change was fine with me, I just think it needed to be less food focused like previous seasons. For Best Main Character, the nominees were Freerun from Freerun Beyond Journey's End, Kafka from Kaiju No. 8, Okaroon from Dandadan, Mao Mao from The Apothecary Diaries, Momo from Dandadan, and Sung Jin Woo from Solo Leveling Season 1. And the winner is Sung Jin Woo from Solo Leveling Season 1. This had to be the funniest of all the winners. How in the hell did the most bland self-insert character in recent anime, forget just the nominees, actually win this award? He's bland before powering up, and he's bland and edgy after powering up. We don't get any real emotion from him until Season 2, and apparently the fans hated it, which is hilarious in its own way. Mao Mao was easily the best character on this list, and it wasn't even close. She was the only character that didn't need anyone else to carry the show. Even Freerun needed others to be as great as she was, while Mao Mao just did her own thing and entertained us anyway. This was one unforgivable robbery. Next up, the nominees for Best Supporting Character are Fern from Freerun Beyond Journey's End, Himmel from Freerun Beyond Journey's End, Jinshi from The Apothecary Diaries, Seiko from Dandadan, Senshi from Delicious in Dungeon, and Turbo Granny from Dandadan. And the winner was Fern from Freerun Beyond Journey's End. I can get behind Fern as the winner because of how much she supports Freerun both as a character and physically supports her through taking care of her. Although I chose Turbo Granny because while she does have much less proportional screen time than Fern, I think Turbo Granny does way more to actually support the MCs. Without her, they wouldn't have stood a chance against some of the aliens and ghosts, and Okaroon wouldn't be able to do anything. She also does a great job highlighting the MCs during her own scenes. For Must Protect at All Costs character, the nominees were Anya Forger from Spy Family Season 2, Freerun from Freerun Beyond Journey's End, Okaroon from Dandadan, Senshi from Delicious in Dungeon, Tokyuki Hojo from The Elusive Samurai, and Yuki Itose from A Sign of Affection. And the winner was Anya Forger, to no one's surprise. I honestly think by this point we need to acknowledge how much Anya can protect herself and move on. Same goes for half of these nominations. Honestly, the one who literally needs the most protection is Hojo from The Elusive Samurai. My choice was Yuki from A Sign of Affection though. Not because she can't do things on her own, but she was an adorable character that makes you want to protect her as much as the male MC does. Maybe next year Anya's reign will come to an end. Next up is Best Anime Song, and the nominees were Abyss from Kaiju No. 8, Bling Bang Bang Born from Mashle Season 2, Fatal from Oshinoko Season 2, Level from Solo Leveling, Otonoke from Dandadan, and The Brave from Freerun Beyond Journey's End. And the winner was Otonoke by Creepy Nuts from Dandadan. This was absolutely deserved and wasn't even close personally. I hadn't even seen the anime yet, and I couldn't stop watching the intro to the show. I really enjoyed the rest of the songs as well, and even added some to my anime playlist on Spotify, but from the first time I heard it, Otonoke was a shoo-in to get my vote. This is probably the hardest category to even nominate for as well, because there are hundreds of songs put out every year, and I would argue most of them are awesome. And the fact Creepy Nuts had 2 of the nominations says something to how well they're doing right now. I'm excited to see what anime they feature on next. The nominees for Best Anime Score were Bleach 1000 Year Blood War Part 3, Dandadan, Demon Slayer Hashira Training Arc, Freerun Beyond Journey's End, Look Back, and Solo Leveling. And the winner was Solo Leveling. For full transparency, when it comes to an anime score, I'm not going to be the one to ask outside of the opening and ending songs. I've definitely watched some anime with bad scores, but unless I'm looking for it specifically, it's hard for me to tell good ones. I chose Frieren because everything about the show is beautiful, score included, but I couldn't tell you whether Solo Leveling Season 1 deserved it or not. It did have some fantastic moments that the music nicely complemented by ramping up the tension, but that's as much as I could tell you. Best Opening Sequence nominees are up next, with Abyss from Kaiju No. 8, Bling Bang Bang Born from Matchless Season 2, Fatal from Oshinoko Season 2, Level from Solo Leveling Season 1, Odanoke from Dandadan, and Us from One Piece. And the winner was Odanoke by Creepy Nuts from Dandadan. I was again surprised to see this win over Matchless Season 2 with how explosive it was in popularity, but I think this totally deserved it. It had the most creative and captivating visuals of all the nominees with a killer song to go with it and was by far my favorite. I did think Us from One Piece was visually impressive as well, but I didn't enjoy the song as much as some of the other nominees. Next up are the nominees for Best Anime Ending Sequence. Antanante from Ranma 1/2, Burning from Oshinoko Season 2, Kamakura Style from The Elusive Samurai, Nobody from Kaiju No. 8, Request from Solo Leveling Season 1, and Taidada from Dandadan. And the winner was Request by Krage from Solo Leveling Season 1. I fully enjoyed all of these ending sequences that not only highlighted the songs but were fantastic in creating their own atmospheres and delivering on each of them. I chose Burning from Oshinoko, but I could get behind whoever ended up winning. For the Japanese Best Anime Voice Artist Performance nominees, we have Mao Mao from The Apothecary Diaries, Frieren from Frieren Beyond Journey's End, Bravern from Brave Bang Bravern, Momo from Dandadan, Marcel from Delicious in Dungeon, and Okarun from Dandadan. And the winner was Aoyuki as Mao Mao from The Apothecary Diaries. This was a great choice for winner, but really all of the nominees did fantastic work breathing life into the characters and delivering fantastic dialogue that fit each scene's needs. And while I didn't expect Bravern to win because so few people actually watched that anime, I did think it was hilarious and was quietly rooting for the win just to be funny. For the English Best Anime Voice Artist Performance nominees, we have Okarun from Dandadan, Sung Jin-woo from Solo Leveling Season 1, Armin from Attack on Titan The Final Season, The Final Chapters Part 2, Frieren from Frieren Beyond Journey's End, Alia from Alia Sometimes Hides Her Feelings in Russian, and Senshi from Delicious in Dungeon. And the winner was Alex Lee as Sung Jin-woo from Solo Leveling. Now I will say I didn't watch any of the dubs fully, I only saw clips, so my opinion is pretty worthless here. But Alex Lee as Sung Jin-woo and Mallory Rodak as Frieren did fantastic jobs, so I would have been happy with either of them. There were plenty of other Voice Artist Performance Awards, but I know absolutely nothing about them. And I know I'll completely destroy the names, so I'll just put the winners up on the screen to show all the fantastic voice artists out there delivering great performances. Now with all that said, here are the total count of awards for all of the winners during the 2025 Crunchyroll Anime Awards. I organized it by the total number of awards, including the voice acting ones, and in parentheses are the totals not including them for anyone interested. And it looks like the big winner of the 2025 Crunchyroll Anime Awards is Solo Leveling Season 1 with 9 awards. Congratulations to Solo Leveling Season 1 and everyone who worked hard on it. And congratulations to all of the other winners as well. If it wasn't for the incredible work done by tens of thousands every year, we wouldn't be able to enjoy such an amazing medium. Anyway, that's it for the winners and pretty much everything I had to say on the matter. So let me know what you guys thought down in the comments. I'd love to hear why you thought a certain anime should or shouldn't have won an award or even been nominated in the first place. Thanks for sticking with me to the end, and follow for more anime news, reviews, and recommendations.